What's up, everybody? I'm back with another episode of the Keep Going podcast. Today's guest is James Thomas Jr. He's a professional basketball player here in Oklahoma, born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I met him in college at Randall University. Since then, he has flourished and grown in so many ways. He made history in the MABA by averaging 35 points and 22 rebounds in his first season. As a rookie in the ABA, he's a leading scorer for the North Tulsa Natives. He also is a leader in three-point percentage. His focus and dedication to perfecting his craft and producing the best version of himself is unmatched. He has a heart of gold, wants to love the world, and knows what he deserves. In this episode, we discuss his journey through basketball, through life, our connections, and much more. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you so much, brother. As always, keep going. Well, James, appreciate you, bro.
No problem, man. I'm happy to be here, man.
It's so good to see you. I know it's been a while, but I don't know, man. Those good connections. I haven't seen you in forever, and then when you get here, we just hug.
Nah, facts.
It's all love.
That's part of, the brotherhood, man. When you're family, you always stay family. So no matter how long we haven't seen each other, it just kind of clicks for me. So
how old were you when we met then at Randall? You would have been young, right?
Bro, I probably was around 19, maybe 20. Maybe.
Dang.
But it feels like it's been forever, man.
It's crazy. And to see the growth too, because like you were such a good basketball player at the time, but had a lot of discipline and things like that. And then to take it further is like, it can't get better than that.
Yeah, it was definitely a journey. I feel like when I first got to Randall, I felt like I was a giraffe on roller skates. Being a freshman in a college campus, you want to make a name for yourself. You want to kind of let people know who you are. And I think when I got there, I was still trying to figure out who I was myself as a player and as a person. So I think once I got to be around the right people to really pour into me, that kind of helped my mindset. But I think my biggest thing was just always work ethic. I might not have been the most talented person on the floor, but I knew the way I was raised, the way I was brought up, I'm gonna outwork anybody to prove that I belong. And so I think that first year when you met me, I was really just trying to find myself, figure out how to use my work ethic effectively to be, to create production on the court. And it was a long journey, as a lot of you who know me know. It took me a while to get to where I am now, but I think it was worth it. And I don't think I would ever change a thing about it.
Yeah. What was it like? Like, where are you from? How'd you get to Randall?
So I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. That's where I was born and raised. When Katrina hit, me and my family, we kind of moved to Fort Worth, Texas. When I was in Fort Worth, Texas, I went to school at Nazarene Christian. It was like a private school. I worked my way up through there. Went to North Crowley for a year, playing under Coach Bracco, which was very intense at a 6A public school.
Wow. And
then went back to Nazarene, graduated there, got some offers to play college ball through a showcase at Everman. Mm-hmm. It's a big high school down there. They had a couple offers. I had Oklahoma Wesleyan, Randall, which is where I met Sam Weber. He kind of groomed me to come to Randall. And then there was a couple other ones. But I wanted to stay kind of close to home, but not exactly in the same state because I was done with Texas. I was like, bro, I need a new change of scenery.
Yeah.
But if you would have asked me a while back if I ever thought I'd be in Oklahoma, I probably would have never would have thought about it.
No, it's wild too because you brought it up earlier, like the work ethic. And when I met you at that time, that's what stood out to me is I feel like at Randall there were a select few that would be in the gym. There was people that did practice and games and all that stuff, but the hoopers that would be getting their own work in, it was limited, and you were always in there.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to play on a team together, so that was always fun. But it's true, like you said, with the giraffe stuff, you were so talented, but it is totally different now how you've not only grown into your body, but grown into getting more stable and more dynamic and just really learning yourself, like you said. Because you had that raw talent in the beginning, but being able to sharpen it.
Most definitely. It was definitely one of those things where I had to figure out how can I use what I have to my advantage. There's a couple times I was like, man, should I get my game like this person or this person? And I had to realize I had to really become one with my body to finally get in tune. So I had to harness that that raw athletic ability, like you were telling me, like, because I always had the athletic ability.
Yeah.
I worked hard for it for a very long time through high school. Ran cross country, ran track, played basketball, baseball. Like, I was always an athlete, but I never really figured out how to harness that raw athletic ability and turn it into something where I can use to make a difference on the court. So,
when did it start clicking? Was it at Randall it started to click for you, or?
Honestly, yes. Playing underneath Bearcoff is a tough, cutthroat system he has, right? 9 times out of 10, he never played the guys unless they were recruited by him. So in order to be seen on a campus like that, you really had to set yourself apart from everybody else.
Yeah.
So it took me like about my freshman and my sophomore year to really figure out, okay, what do I have to do to get on the court, right? So from there, I was like, okay, I got all this size. I got this athletic ability. Nobody's jumping with me when I'm at the rim. So sophomore, freshman year, it was dunk everything. Like, there were no layups. Layups was an understatement, or it was more or less like layups meant like I was just kind of BSing.
Okay.
And so I had to really become that above the rim player. So sophomore, freshman year, it was straight everything at the rim. I worked on my mid-range a little bit. It wasn't as consistent. It didn't get consistent until my junior year. Junior year is when I really started to like switch my game from like, hey, just because you're big, you know what I mean, and you're athletic doesn't mean you have to play in the post.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The game is evolving. Why wouldn't I evolve, right? That's when I really started locking on my ball handling. I started stepping out shooting a three. And it wasn't just something that I would just come to practice or come to like the game and do. I spent hours in the gym.
Yeah.
You remember me, Pena, Duty, Brian, the same guys who will always be in the gym until they kicked us out.
Yeah.
If we would have had it our way, we would have had a mattress in the locker room and slept in the gym. Yeah. Because that's how much we love grinding.
Man, so were you focused on like not only the drills and things, but just like getting out of your own comfort zone?
I had to.
You have to get confidence to, like, even if you work on it forever, once it gets to game time, you have to really trust yourself to pull it out then.
Oh, for sure. I think one of the biggest things was kind of like learning how to adapt to playing in a system, right? Because like anybody can go up and down and play pickup. Pickup is just like, it's easy. Anybody can play pickup. But one thing that I will give Coach Bearcoff credit for is I learned how to play my role and play it effectively. Then once I mastered my role, I was able to learn, okay, basketball is not just about putting the ball in the hoop. It's about matchups, intangibles, defense, learning how to communicate on and off the floor, learning how to create space, knowing where everybody is at the same time without having to like telegraph where you're throwing your passes. Not only did I learn that from him, I learned that from playing a lot of different players, like Pena, playing with you, Batman, you know what I'm saying? So many people. Like, I learned bits and pieces about different ways to play the game and different ways to improve my game. And I didn't even know at the time. I thought I was just having fun being a college athlete. But in reality, I was really like taking bits and pieces from everybody that came into my life. And bro, I learned a lot. I'm so grateful.
Did it start clicking the junior year then when you were getting regular playing time?
Junior year, it started clicking because now I wasn't just a practice player. I wasn't just somebody who Bearcoff used me for practice for the starters.
I get it 100%.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was a starter.
That's what I really wanted to ask. Like, when it clicked, like, what was the difference? Because, like, you had to earn it. So I know that even when you – and tell me if I'm assuming wrong.
No, you're good.
But I would think that even when you were getting opportunities, it was like short leash.
Yes.
So how did you extend that?
So what I did to extend my leash was I had to put myself on the level with the guys Bearcoff recruited and the people who were still working up. Yeah. What I had to do is I had to separate myself from my group of people that I got comfortable with. And I kind of had to like, I don't want to say like, make it cutthroat, but I did because like at the end of the day, like I knew I was getting opportunities, right? The only way I'm going to be able to extend my leash is to make myself undeniable on the court. Yeah. If you're undeniable, I don't care who recruited who. There's no way you cannot be on the floor. And that's what I had to do. I had to put it to Bearcoff like, there's no reason why you can't put me on the floor and why I shouldn't be in those situations. So when we started getting to like our more important games against like Manhattan Christian, we started playing a lot of the high major D1s or D2 schools. Like I was producing. When you produce, when you get rebounds, when you're finishing at the rack, when your free throw percentage is, you know, producing and helping us win basketball games, that's when it started to click. And I was like, okay, I can do this shit. Like,
that was probably a different confidence, right?
Oh, it was a whole different confidence.
Yeah, I bet.
It was like I went from being the guy to where like I used to be in the gym grinding just to get Coach Bearcoff to like glanced at me once, to being a guy where he's like, hey, Thomas, this is who we got tonight. Here's the scouting report. I'm in here watching film with some of the guys who they recruit from different countries and stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know how I'm going to lock that up. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I asserted myself. Eventually, my senior year, I was a captain of the team. And I was starting. Crazy. I was captain of the college team, and I was one of the leading scorers. They even wrote an article about me. Mm-hmm. So I stepped up in a big way, and it wasn't to me, I feel like it wasn't to prove anything to bear off anybody. It was to prove to myself that I know I belong. You know what I'm saying? I just needed somebody to give me a shot to believe in me. And I sometimes I get frustrated that it took as long as it did, but that journey, right? That journey was worth the time. You know,
I love it because bro, I saw it in day one. I saw day one, and then when I would see you as captain or all these scoring notes that I would see at Randall, I was like, man, there's not a lot of people at that particular school, I feel like, that are, and I'm using the word loosely, random, you weren't, you know, one of the high recruits there.
For sure.
But to make a name for yourself and really solidify yourself, I know how hard that is. So to see you do it, especially I know you're saying long, but think freshman, sophomore, getting a taste, but junior year really locking in, then senior, you're the man. It's not a surprise, but it's so wild.
Man, I feel you on that. I really do.
Congrats to you for that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. That was a long time coming, bro. Because, you know, I ain't going to lie to you, Zach. There were some times where I was like, man, am I wasting my time here? You know, is this worth my money, my parents' money? Is this worth taking out these loans? Is this worth, waking up, staying up late for all these classes just to be eligible for the next semester? You know what I'm saying? I really, really, really had some days where I was like, bro, I don't know if I want to do this shit. At one point, I even looked at going to transfer into a different school, Southwestern or somewhere, just to see if it would be better. But I told myself, I feel like if I would have gave up and just let, you know, the people who are above me succeed, I don't think I'd be able to sleep at night. I think I'd regret it every single time. And I know other people, they went out different opportunities. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. But like I told you, that work ethic, I just wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
I'm so proud of you for not quitting, because the shit you had to do was crazy. I know a lot of people will understand, and the listeners won't even get it. I get it. I was right there experiencing it. So to see you do it is it's so cool. That's the best way I can put it. And well deserved, because I know all those times, multiple chairs sitting out there working on your game,
every day.
Someone rebounding for you, or even when we would practice together and you would be trying stuff you're uncomfortable with. I remember seeing you miss a bunch of shots.
Oh, for sure.
But you have to get those to be able to make it. And then to be a captain and successful and earn the trust of someone that's very hard to earn the trust of.
Very hard.
I think that's impressive, and probably why you've been on the track record you have been now. Not that it's easy now, because now you're putting in even more work, but it's not new.
It's not. And you're right. If anything, I wouldn't say that it got easier for me at all. If anything, it just changed my perspective on what basketball is like. I feel like when I was in college, my perspective around basketball wasn't where it should have been. You know, it was very small and closed-minded. I thought being on a college campus, basketball at college was my entire life. In reality, bro, I missed out on so many different opportunities to network and you know, just branch out and experience and get to grow myself, because I thought basketball was basketball or nothing. Mm-hmm. In reality, bro, there's so much more to the world and to basketball. I had to change my perspective after I graduated, because of course I wanted to keep playing. So I know the NBA wasn't in my grasp as soon as I graduated, but I could still be a pro. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up, that's when I started to sign with the Oklahoma Kings, and I got.
That was after graduating, pretty soon, or
that was literally as soon as I walked across there. Coach Will was like, "Hey, we got a professional team in the NBA, the MABA, the Mid American Basketball Association, and you know, if people don't know, they can go look up and do their research. But it's a pretty cool conference, man. And through that's why I really started to learn about overseas and build connections and make connections with guys in the G League, and Thunder, and stuff like that. And that's when your perspective starts to change, because it's you can think of basketball as a small bubble where it's okay, if I didn't do anything in college, that's it. But in reality, the world's changing, man. Social media is changing. there's ways to get your name out there, even if you have to do it on your own or you don't have a big name, right? Like, there's people I know older than me who's out there killing it in the Euro League right now.
Mm-hmm.
One of my teammates, he's actually in Serbia right now from the North Tulsa Natives. His name is Alexander James, and he's doing his thing. He's fighting for a contract right now, trying to get paid. So,
what was the beginning like then as far as going to the Oklahoma Kings? Did you notice a difference? Were you automatically killing? What was your journey like?
Honestly, right after college, I was still in great shape, took care of my body. You know for a fact, I always took care of my body.
Yeah,
that was
always tip-top shape.
Oh, for sure. I tried to be.
Yeah.
Especially playing under a guy named Cassius Lyons. I don't know if people may know about him, but that guy had a physique of a Spartan soldier. And that was basically where I was trying to get to. Mm-hmm. And so when I first got there, like a lot of the guys, they couldn't keep up with me.
Just because you're in shape and you're fresh out of college.
Straight out of college, right? Like not even like a week after our last game, from my last senior year game, like I was ready. I was already at practice. So it was really smooth for me. That's when I started setting records. I became the MABA All-American. I set the first scoring record. I had 35 points and 25 rebounds. I averaged that almost, I think, throughout the season.
You averaged that?
Yeah, basically. And think about it like this, too.
That's
like,
wild.
I was like, they had me like in the post most of it, but I never stayed in the post. I would flow from high post to on the wing, and most of my points were 3-pointers. Like, of course, I'd finish in the rack. Like, that's probably where I think I got most of mine from. But that's when I started experiencing, I could step out and shoot that three. Why not?
25 rebounds is wild, though. That's so much effort.
It's mental.
How so?
So the guys I would play against, at least minimum height, be 6'7", 6'8", 7-footers, right? But being at Randall, bro, that's all I had to battle with. Yeah. Big Tristan, Jordan Downs, you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are 6'11", 7 foot, you know what I'm saying? And then having to bang with Cash, bro, like, it was almost like I was groomed to go against trees and finish at the rim. So I did that for a while, and that just kind of like made scoring in the paint so much easier for me. That senior year, though, I had a lot of guards I had to battle with, a lot of guys who, you know, I butted heads with because I was one of the leading scorers on the team. So it was like I had to figure out how to take my game from another level. I had to get away from that just bang, bang in the post to now I had to get crafty enough to create my own space. That's when I started hitting those crazy numbers my senior and my junior years because I started learning how to evolve my game. You know, I really worked on that first quick step. I learned from a guy named Trey Sneed. You know about Trey Sneed.
Yeah, that's right.
Trey Sneed was the only guy who would come to practice, come to the games, and like not practice at all throughout the week, but just come in there and just give people 30. 6'5", long arms. He never was in the gym.
The most I ever saw him do, and I hope he hears this, is like go hit 3 or 4 free throws at the end of practice.
That's it.
And then leave.
And walk out. Probably go.
And then he would be out there hitting people with like a mean right to left and straight to the rim. I'm like, he doesn't even look like he's enjoying it.
It was almost boring for him. But there was one thing he told me I'll never forget. Trey Sneed told me, he said, I'm going to tell you like this, bro. Like you have potential to be great, but unless you learn how to finish and attack off that first step with the least amount of dribbles as possible, you're not going to be as effective as you can be. So he literally stayed in the gym with me. I think one day we were just going at it one-on-one, and I would not let him leave until like he'd have beat me at least 20 times. But every time I played him, I learned something new every single time.
Man, I love that you brought that up because one of the not the questions, but where my thought process was going is that as you elevated your game, you probably learned not only efficiency, but like the spots you like to get it and the minimal dribbles and things you can do once you do get it. Because that's how you evolve. You can dribble and like create your shot, but you can't stop the offense like that in college. The whole goal that Trey was doing is catching it at the elbow, facing up, work. And that's where you would have to do elbow, the wings. You're going to have to be so quick. So for you to transition that to the pro level is so smart because it's just efficiency, not wasting time, not wasting dribbles.
That word you said, efficiency, that, man, if I could tattoo that on my arm, I would, because efficiency is so crucial to playing basketball at the next level. My sophomore year, when I was still battling with Trey, like that's one thing I learned is being efficient and being consistent. One thing I learned from watching those players and playing against all these guys who were way, way more talented than me is, for one, if you want to set yourself apart from anybody, you have to do one thing very well that sets yourself away from them. People, where I really messed up my freshman year was like, I tried to be good at all these different things, and that's not necessary. Basketball is simple. If you want to stand out, be really good, be damn good at what you're doing, and make sure nobody else on the floor can do it as best as you can. So once I figured out what I needed to be really good at, I sharpened it like a blacksmith. And every night, every day, I sharpened. One thing people always told me, I was strong as hell. So I worked on my body. I worked on my body more than people probably work on books in college, right? I worked on my body. I worked on my mid-range, and I worked on my three-pointer. And then I worked on my handles. That was one of the things that I struggled with the longest. Once I got my handles where they needed to be, it was very, very, very difficult to stop me from getting to the rack or creating my space. Consistency. If you're consistent, you're going to be very hard to stop, no matter where you're playing, who you're playing against. Consistency breeds excellence. That's something I learned my junior year. So I stopped trying to be, like all these other players, being able to shoot, dribble, be fancy. No, I'd rather be a consistent at what I'm good at. So if I'm going to be consistent at finishing at the rim, brother, I'm going to have 22 points, and it's going to be at the paint if nobody's going to stop me, right? And if no matter what they say or what they tell me, that's all you do, that's fine. But when you look at the stats and they're doing all these selections for all team, third team regions, they do percentages, right? So if your percentage is high in the field goal percentage and they can't stop you, nobody cares if you're doing it behind the back or between the legs. If they can't stop you from finishing, bro, that's setting yourself apart.
No, I mean, it's just like they're talking about with Trey. There was very minimal handles.
Oh, for sure.
Like the right to left is the epitome.
That's it.
And he was just getting to the cup. Or the crazy thing, and when he would be like out of nowhere, and not trying to take it off of your story.
No, I don't. Go for it.
When Trey would be like nonchalant and hit multiple threes.
Oh my God.
That's when it'd be so freaking wild. I'd be sitting there watching and like, he had so much I don't give a fuck that like,
facts.
When he would start hitting those, it would make me laugh. Like, I'm like, bro, he don't even care or work on that.
He sure don't.
He's just hot. He's just feeling it. So like for you to realize that, pick up on it, and just exploit it is huge. Especially averaging 35 and 25 as a pro.
Hey, man.
What happened after that first season then? I mean, like, do you have to stay at that level and just keep killing, or what's the next step?
So after that first season of me averaging 35 and 25 points and making history for the MABA, that's when I got my first offer to go overseas. The offer was to go to Canada, not just anywhere in Canada, Moncton, Canada to be exact. There's a guy named Kendall Purpell, right? He was the founder of the Oklahoma Kings. So Kendall, he went from playing in Oklahoma Kings, went over there to Canada, he has his own shoe. He has his own like team, all that stuff, right? Now he's well established out there. He started overseeing that while Coach Weber was coaching it, and he said, who's this cat? We could use him out there. And I was like, okay. At the time, I was comfortable in a relationship. I don't know if I want to go overseas yet. It wasn't really something that like kind of like was on my mind. I was like, okay, I got an offer to go to Canada. How much they pay, right? Didn't have a passport, so I was kind of stuck here, and like many more offers came up. I just never rolled the ball on getting a passport. So now that I'm in the ABA, passport is top priority right now. So I'm like, because now the MABA was cool because it's in the States, and then it opened up a lot of connections for me to go overseas. The ABA, that's a whole different story, a whole nother league. When we get ready to that question, I'll kind of deep dive into it. But the ABA is partnerships with the NBA. And from there, if you're that man and somebody likes you, you could get drafted straight to the league if the right person sees your stats. Or you can go to Europe, because all of our stats get uploaded to Eurobasket. And you can go over there with Luka Doncic and all the overseas players who are in the league right now made their mark, make 600,000 or something a year, or make six figures, you know what I'm saying, playing in the Euro League and get noticed to go to the league. So the levels of the league open up different opportunities. But no matter what level you have, you always want to keep those connections. So
that's smart that you've been so aware to keep like the networking alive and things like that, because even in any form of business, whether it's basketball, real estate, whatever, that's literally what makes you jump levels, is knowing somebody.
Of course.
And of course, it's like the preparation and the work that you've done. But those big breaks come from who you meet, who you connect with, just like you're saying with the ABA.
Almost definitely.
So how long have you been playing in the ABA?
So this is actually my first year in the ABA.
Okay.
And it's been really cool getting to meet everybody. Playing with the guys in Tulsa has been different.
And that's the North Tulsa Natives, you
Yes,
said?
sir.
Okay.
North Tulsa Natives. Our owner, he's Muskogee Creek.
Okay.
So the Muskogee Creek Nation, I think, really helps us out a lot as far as like, sponsorships.
And you're Kiowa, you said?
I have some Kyle in me. I have Chittitamasha from New Orleans. So that's where more of my blood is from.
Really? Say it again?
The Chittitamasha.
Okay, I haven't heard of them. I have to look into it.
Yeah, you
That's
definitely look it up. We're known for like basket weaving and stuff down there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely a deep rooted, and a lot of people don't really know because they didn't know there were any tribes in Louisiana. But
I mean, it was the whole country.
you're right.
You're
right. But like when I talk to a lot of like Oklahoma natives, they never hear about them. Yeah. And I was like, that's understandable because until I came to Oklahoma, like I didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, what's that first season been like? When did it start?
The season started, I want to say in September or October.
So you're still in season right now?
Oh yeah, I got a game actually. If y'all want to come check it out, I got a game this weekend. We're playing against the Louisiana Kingdom Riders, and it'll be out there in Tulsa at the East Central Y up there. That's our home gym. Yeah, I'm excited to play against them. My last couple games, I've been averaging like, I think 30, 20. I haven't had anything less than 20 points.
Wow.
And
it's still all over the court? Just whatever you want?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, this year I'm playing shooting guard. So, nice. I didn't move out from the post. I'm a shooting guard.
Is it pure two? So you just score?
I score. I score the fuck out the ball.
Like, of course, you involve the game. I'm sure you pass.
Of course.
But the two role, like, score.
Oh, yes.
How does that feel then to change your role?
Honestly, bro, it feels like a breath of fresh air because, like, I feel like growing up and, like, through college and stuff, because of my size, they always seem fit to use me, like, in a post or the high post. And so I have to always work to get myself out. Now I'm playing at the professional level, and I've developed my shots so much. It's, like, the number one thing I work on. Like, I've kind of transitioned my game from being – I'm still athletic. I can dunk. I can do everything. I can finish at the rim. But I'm a consistent shooter from the three-point line. Right now, I currently have the highest three-point percentage on the team. I have the most threes made on the team. I average the most three-pointers made. Like, if you look at my attempts and you look at my percentage, I think my three-point percentage from the game for this season, from the first 5 or 6 games we played, I'm sitting at 53% from the three-point line. And it's just being consistent. Being in the right place, having my feet set, and
taking good shots.
Oh, of course. I try not to take any bad shots. If I do take a bad shot, I make it up by finishing at the rack or getting boards.
Is a smart shot to you then? Is it coming off the correct screen or getting open correctly, or is it what's something for you that you like looks good to you?
So I like to get my shots either from the corners or the wings, right?
Yeah.
But if I need to create a spot, the reason why my shot is so consistent and it's so hard to guard is because I'm already 6'6", so it's like I got the height, right? But my shot, believe it or not, it's going to sound crazy. I kind of developed my shot from watching 2 people, right? Number 1, Larry Legend. I love this man. Most respect to him. Like, he's the man, right? Mm-hmm. Him and KD, right? Those are my 2 people that I
release.
My release is ridiculously high. The only way anybody is going to stop my shot is if they literally smack my hand or their hand is like 7 feet tall like Wemby and they're able to get to it before I release it. And even if they do get to it, my release and my follow through is so high, they would probably have to smack my hand. Mm-hmm. If you watch film and you go back and you watch some of my games, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm so confident with taking my shot because I practice it so much. I do 35 makes in every spot. I use my number as a reference because I'm number 35, right? I do 35 close, 35 mid, 35 threes, and I go all 5 spots and I go all the way back. And I do that every single day.
That's like 500 makes, if not.
Basically. Yeah. Not shots, makes.
Yep.
500 makes. So
that's even a game changer for people, and I think it hits people usually in college where someone better than you will say, hey, it's makes. Because when you first get there, you're like, no, I got 500 shots. They're like, no, makes.
Makes.
And then your mind changes a little. And you're like, oh, okay. So it's not only like putting in the work, but it's like efficiency.
Oh, for
Going
sure.
back to what we were talking about.
For sure. Efficiency is big at the pro level. I had a guy ask me once, what's the difference between being a pro and just being like, just playing for fun? I said, the thing is, professionals, we try to pride ourselves on not messing up. Professionals don't miss too often, right? Because we see it differently as than just playing for fun, right? You play for fun, you miss this, whatever, right? Professional, you miss, bro, your job's on the line. Like, it's not like, you know, buddy. Like, there's another guy who's waiting to take that position. So either you're going to produce or you're going to get cut. And there's no in between, no gray line, right? So that was another thing I had to switch my mindset. I can't just be like, I'm just playing college. Like, if I miss a couple points or I miss a couple shots and my percentage dips and up, that's cool. There's another game. Like, no, like, I'm trying to go get paid. I'm trying to get to the EuroLeague. I'm trying to get to the NBA. So I have to hit these shots.
What's that pressure like? How do you use that correctly without, like, I guess, like paralyzing yourself?
I live by one thing. I say, you know, that opportunity when I take that shot, if I know at the end of the day I gave everything I got and I worked on it and it was a shot that I shoot 100 times, if I miss it, in my mind I'm like, okay, you got to shoot some to make some, right? Mm-hmm. But if I'm just taking a bullshit shot and I'm just like, you know, that's when I really get in my head. I'm like, man, like, why would I do that? That's not efficient. You know what I'm saying? That's not what you practice. You got to practice how you play, right? And if you half-ass it in practice, you're going to half-ass it in the game. And I try my best not to half-ass it in the game because I don't half-ass it in practice.
That's so wild, though, to, like, hit new levels because, like, where you started to the mindset you have to have now is almost the mindset of someone that, like, had that position their whole life. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense, I would think someone at your level of attention to detail would be someone that's been in that place the whole time and you weren't. So that's so impressive to be able to take on that new identity.
I mean, I appreciate it. It's really like, if I had to shout out anybody, I have to shout out my father. He played at LSU, and that was before I got here. I was I think the year afterwards, that's when I came into the picture, but he played at LSU. He was there around the time where Shaq was. So I was like, wow, man, you got to play in the same gym with Shaq? He's like, yeah, man, like we were warming up together. And I was like, wow, that's ridiculous. So he played at a high level, went overseas, and I believe he could have made it to the league, but, you know, he stepped up. He became a father. You know, he was there for me, for my mom. So, like, just getting to hear how his basketball career was, like, that really motivated me to go as far as I can. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When I first started playing ball, basketball wasn't fun for me. I was more into anime, Pokemon cards, Beyblade, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, that was me. I was on the Xbox. I was the kid up on the Xbox 360 all night long. But I used to resent my father because he would push me so hard. He'd say something, why the fuck you shot that shot? Like, you know, just cussing me out. All my games, just always like, you know, getting at me, right? But what I didn't know was he was kind of teaching me how to take that constructive criticism. I can tell you right now, man, if I would have knew then what I know now, instead of like, you know, fighting against all the constructive criticism I received over the years, I used to think people were just out to get me. I'd probably be twice the player I am today because I feel like I would have just soaked it up more rather than, you know, outletting it in video games and just, you know, man, you don't care. You just, you know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, having a guy like that above my head all those years really helped me be tough mentally.
Yeah, it's interesting whether it's a father or like a significant other, whatever it is.
For sure.
That like constructive criticism, when it does come from a place of love, no matter how hard it is, you're like, you have to take the personal out of it and you realize like it's just for growth. Because at first it's hard. Like you said, with outlets, you may go to video games or go to something else or just take a break or quit or whatever. But if you can use it, I mean, that's true work, you know? You can take something from that.
Indeed. My dad always just tell me, chew the meat, spit out the bone. Chew the meat, spit out the bone. So
don't take it all with you.
Like, exactly. Word for word what you just said. Like, I feel like that took me a lot further in life than like a lot of things did because I had to really keep that in the back of my mind. You know, when you're in practice and Barakov's chewing you out, front of all these top recruits, or, you know, in front of the girls, or whatever you want to call it, right? I'd say 7 times out of 10, most athletes get in their head and they're like, man, he tripping. He don't know me. He don't know what I'm dealing with and stuff like that. The few 3% of them who really take it in and just keep moving forward, those are the ones who become mentally tough. Those are the ones who are able to get through the pressure, you know, when you're deep in the game and, you know, it's like 7 seconds left on the clock and we need you to hit a shot, or we need you to hit free throws. Those are the ones who overcome. So I had to become one of those overcomers, and I had to step up to learn and grow pretty quick.
How do you feel as a professional basketball player now, though? Because I bet even though you were learning a lot along the way and getting some success, I mean, I bet there were times where you're like, there's no way that's possible.
I'm glad you said that, because, like, yeah, that was one of those things I was thinking, like, you know, as soon as I graduated, like, man, what's next, right? Never thought I'd see myself being a professional athlete. I got to sign my first autograph. I want to say that was my second year playing with the Kings. It was a different experience getting to sign a kid's T-shirt and be like, hey, oh my God, somebody asked me for their signature. Like, who am I? I don't feel like I'm anybody important, but
That's wild.
To the kids, you know, that look up to you, it's like, they're like, man, you're James Thomas so-and-so. And I was like, yeah, man, look, here's all my stats, this, that, and the other. That is a feeling like no other, because you know what it's like being on the other side of it. I know what it's like being that kid. You know what I'm saying? When I see my hero, or I see somebody I look up to, even my uncle, he taught me how to play all these different video games. He started me out on Halo, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. He's the one who introduced me to Xbox.
Yeah.
So to me, he was my hero.
Yeah.
When he came through the door, bro, my face would light up. It would light up. I felt like all my worries were out the way. So when I see kids like that and they're like, oh, hey, James Thomas, this is you. You know, I'm like, bro, that makes everything worth it. That makes the hard work worth it. That makes the pain in your knees and your feet, all that stuff worth it. The sweat worth it. Because for that split moment, you got to be the person who inspires somebody else. Everybody knows what it's like to have a hero inspire them. Imagine getting to feel like the hero for 1 second. It's no greater feeling.
And it's like, to good people, when they have that moment, they're able to use it as more fuel to keep going, instead of like maybe having like heavy imposter syndrome or just playing it off, trying to be cool. You can like actually absorb the moment. So that's amazing.
Oh, for sure. That's like when I was down there in Fort Cobb, like when I was with my ex and everything, like I had a lot of nieces and nephews around that area, and like just being able to pour back into them, because, you know, they know I'm a professional, right? That was different. A lot of the kids out there in the Native American communities, bro, they don't get that exposure that everybody else does. Nobody talks about that, right? Everybody, you know, they kind of, all these big city kids who go to Edmond Memorial and all these, they get the exposure they need because they have all these places. Nobody talks about the kids in the small towns who don't, you know, who working their asses off or getting there, and they want to get there, but their confidence is so low because they're like, man, will anybody ever see me? And there's a lot of kids out there in Carnegie, Fort Cobb, Anadarko, these small towns who need to be looked at. You know what I'm saying? And like being able to be like, you know, somebody who I could be like, hey, y'all can do it too. You just got to get out there and put your name out there. That was awesome, man. I got to go to some open gyms out there, mess around with some of the kids in a small town. It was great. They loved me and I loved them. Like they showed me like, you know, what family looks like outside of being in the city area. Yeah. And like, believe it or not, most of my growth was done outside of the city area, you know, just getting to get out to the small towns, get to meet a lot of the people in different tribes, and just get to be a part of like powwows, hang games. Like that shit matters. And I don't think people talk about it, but it definitely mattered to me, at least. Yeah, man, that there's actually, I just got off the phone with someone earlier who was telling me that a Comanche powwow is going to be on the 27th. It's this coming Saturday. Not this coming Saturday, but the 27th on a Saturday. Okay. In Lawton. Really? And he was talking about it. And now for you to bring it up, it's just funny because the power of those ceremonies, it can just, it can really move you. And then just the connection, the family, the energy you feel, it's an interesting experience. Oh, so especially for you to feel it as an adult is different. It definitely is, man. It's no greater feeling. And it's like being able to tell my nieces and nephews like where I'm going and like get them to be a part of like the journey. Like that's just amazing. I would never, ever I'd never take any of that back. Never regret it. I feel like that's why you will continue to be blessed, is because you've always had that good heart and you're doing it
just for positivity, that like you're going to keep getting that because that's what you're putting out. So you're going to get those experience with the kids. You're going to sign autographs, but you're also going to grow communities. And you just never know what you'll do as well, you know, because you've already done so much. When you look back, those kids are going to be further along because of that. And they may be bringing it up 20 years from now.
That's what I hope, man. I really hope that, like, you know, a wise man once told me, like, you put in what you get out what you put in, right? So, like, whenever I do something from the professional level or whenever I do something that has to do with being a professional, like, I don't ever do it for, like, any compensation. Like, I don't do anything for compensation. I always know, like, you know, you put love into the world, and, like, I don't expect it back, but true love is, you know, doing something that, like, you know, you're not expecting anything in return. You just love people because you love people. You're not loving people because you want them to love you back or you're expecting any recognition. I want people to, like, love me just because I love them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then you get so many rewards from it, like, just back to you. You get blessings. You get connected to people. You move up the ranks. Like, there's all these little blessings that come along with it when you do it just pure.
Indeed.
So I think it's just like what we talked about earlier, though. It's not a surprise. Like, you tell me all these things even though we haven't talked in a while. It's not a surprise. Like, when you're like, oh, this meant to me. This meant the world to me. Like, I mean, that's why when I saw you at Dick's Sporting Goods, I just hugged you and I was like, hey, this is my wife.
Hell
like,
yeah.
This guy means something to me. He's just a good dude, so you got to meet him now. Like, those.
Of course.
That stuff means something. So I appreciate that you have that outlook because that's the most important thing.
And it made me happy to see you with your wife, man, to see, like, where you started to where you are now with the real estate thing, bro. That is awesome. I was like, that was just a blessing in itself, just getting to hear how well you've done. Because I know that stuff's not easy. I know it wasn't done overnight. I know it wasn't just handed to you. So the fact that you had to go through your journey to get where you are, that means a lot. And so I just wanted to tell you, and I love and I respect you and I appreciate you for everything you do because your journey was important. And I know it matters a lot.
Well, thank you. But also, like, the reason it means so much to hear from people like yourself is, like, there's that love I get from the people I grew up with that saw the journey. But there's that group of people from the Randall era, the Hillsdale era, where it just could have ended there.
It could have.
And there's a few select people that, like Ryan Hickerson.
Yeah, I remember.
He came into town and we went to the Wichita Mountains in Lawton, which I'm sure you've spent time there. And he had never been, so we went hiking around. Then we did a ceremony for my grandpa who had passed away. Then I showed him buffalo. Then we went and played some pool. Like, there's a select few people from that era that are like brothers, and they say the same thing. Like, we all had a journey and we didn't let it stop like there.
Right.
You know, so thank you is all I can say because we're going to keep going, both of us. So, man, I know you had mentioned it earlier, so break it down for me that you said you did try out for the G League.
Yes, for the Blue. So, went up there, had a tryout, got to meet some of the guys on the team, met SGA. For the second time, I met SGA for the first time. Me and my girl, we were in Edmond, right? And there was like this little play area. And so SGA, like, at first I didn't know it was him because, you know, why would he be there? You know what I'm saying?
When you say play area, what do you mean?
So it's like a little, like, he was playing with his kid.
So it's like a park type thing?
Yeah, it's up there, like, literally right around the corner from the Hive. And so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So my girl, she's bringing her kid over there and, like, you know, we were just over there spending some quality time with him. And it was cool. He was just in there playing with his kid. And I'm like, bro, nobody's, like, crowding him or nothing. And I'm pretty sure, I think it's just because Oklahoma City, like, we love him. And so it's like.
Give him his piece.
Yeah, they were respecting it. You know, but he was just in there with his kid playing. And he had a couple of his, like, maybe his people, family, or bodyguards or whatever, they were with him. And, bro, he just looked like a big kid himself. He was going up and down the slides. He had his kid with him. And, like, we just kind of gave each other a look. You know what I mean? Like a look like, oh, you must play basketball. Oh, you must play basketball. And I just kind of looked at him, nodded at each other. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So when I went up there to the Paycom Center for the tryout, like, he was there too. And I was like, oh, snap. This is SGA. What's up? So we're just kind of chopping it up, just seeing what's going on. And it was cool to get to kind of, like, see what it's like being in the Paycom. I never, ever thought I'd be on an actual NBA floor.
And that's where the tryout was? Woo!
Yeah.
When was that?
That was actually this past summer. It was in, I want to say it was in, like, November, or it might have been closer towards the end of, it was a close It wasn't in November. It was closer to like the end of the summer. So probably like in July.
So they watched you do the workouts?
Mm-hmm.
And then what was it, like one-on-one workouts, drills, and then scrimmage, or what?
It was more of an evaluation based off of my my season in the MABA, averaging those numbers, got my name out there, kind of like talk to the right people.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of connections.
That networking.
Mm-hmm. We go back to networking again. A lot of professionals, I think they don't understand how important it is to make networking a thing, because I didn't understand until, like, you know, when you start getting your name out there and you start, you know, meeting new people, you know, you start meeting people who are connected to bigger organizations like that, right? I got a guy that I know, his name's Andre House, right? A huge shout out to him. You know, he does the floor for the Thunder games. You know, he's out of Anadarko. He knows a lot of people from there.
It's crazy connection.
You know, exactly. It's like, and I met Andre from playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? Out there in On Point, back when he was playing ball out there in On Point.
Yeah.
At that's out there in
El Reno.
Yep. Yes. Now he's playing against one of the teams that I play in the ABA. He plays for the Western Oklahoma Bulldogs, right? Okay. So now he's somebody I play against for real at the professional level. So it's like, but you know, through making all these connections, I got linked in, got tapped in with what was going on. I had my tryout. The thing was I did great. I did amazing. Some stuff I wanted to work on more still, but at the time they didn't really have any spots. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, at the NBA level, it's strictly business. Don't care who you are, where you're from, how you're doing, strictly business, right? If you are able to make an impact at the level right then and now, then of course. But right now, if they feel like they want to see more, they want to see more. So that's why I'm busting my ass this ABA season. So that way, when I come around for my second tryout, I'm going to be ready. And this year is going to be very crucial for me, so I have to make a decision. Do I want to start with the G League, or do I want to start overseas? And there's a lot of things that come into play when you start figuring out where you want to play. Mm-hmm. There's money, right? There's, if you go overseas, who's going to watch all your stuff? I mean, of course I trust my woman to watch all my stuff, but that's a huge responsibility. My car, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I have to make a decision, and I have to make one, I want to say fairly soon, but let's say 2 or 3 months soon,
yeah,
right?
That's soon.
Because, you know, my coach for the ABA, he said he doesn't think I'm going to be here that much longer. He's trying to get me going to the EuroLeague. That's where he wants to send me to. He thinks I do really good in the highest conference there. That's where they pay the most. So goes back to the passport business, locking in on that, and then it's between there, or do I settle for the G League, right?
Is it a settle because you don't make money as much money?
That's basically what it is.
But the opportunity's there.
But the opportunity is there. You go to the G League, right? You get the exposure. You may not get as much money as you're going to get overseas, but you get the fact to say, okay, I'm directly connected to the NBA. If they want to pull you up at any time they can, like they did my boy Lindy Waters, put him on the 2-way, right? So it's really a gamble, because either or, you're going to be putting your body through some serious stuff, right? So that year, whether you're in a G League or you're overseas, is very crucial. But you have to decide as your athlete, where do you feel like your time is going to be spent most efficiently, right? Do you want to go to stay in the States, make maybe 40, 50, if you're lucky, if you're good, maybe you get a high-end contract of 100,000 playing in the G League, right?
I didn't even know they go up that high anymore, or now.
Depends.
They used to not.
If you get on a 2-way,
could even go higher.
Oh, for sure. Like
I remember before I went to Randall, there were some people I knew that were associated with the G League, and that was when it was the D League, and it was like 13 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand. So it's crazy to hear that.
There's a guy too, what's his name? DeAndre Burton?
Yeah.
He actually goes up there, and I'll work out with him a couple times.
Yeah.
I didn't got a chance to play against him.
I played with him at Skins one time.
Yeah, I played in the Skins League too. That's crazy. Yeah. So it's like he be up there working out at Quill Springs Baptist Church, and I think he's trying to make a push to go back. But just getting to play against him, seeing the level, it's ridiculous, right? This dude is former NBA. Had the OKC jersey on, right?
Was in the game.
Yeah. Making huge impacts.
That's good to put yourself against that, though.
Bro.
That's good. Hey, man, that's what I wanted to ask you, bro. Like, it's got to feel trippy to be that close. I know it's destined because of the work you're putting in, so I'm not saying it's undeserved. I'm just saying it's got to feel crazy.
It does, man. Honestly, sometimes it don't feel real. It's just, I'm going to speak from a basketball player standpoint for a second. It feels amazing to feel that close. But it's like until you get there, you're never satisfied, right? And like basketball players know, the ones who playing professional ball right now in the station, they get it. On top of doing all that stuff, you got to pay bills. Rent has to be paid. Your car note has to be paid. Insurance has to be upkept. You know what I'm saying? You got to work. So it's not just we get to go out here and play ball and just have fun. No.
You got a full other life.
You got a whole other life, responsibilities. Got to make sure your health is good. People are they're gonna want you to go party. They're gonna want you to go kick it with them. Everybody wants to go downtown every now and then, but it's the discipline that'll set you apart.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's where I wanted to go. Like, how important is discipline to you? Because you changed your entire life off of discipline.
Discipline, I don't want to say it's the foundation, but it is the foundation. If you're in real estate, right? If you sell a person a house and they're looking at the foundation and there's cracks in it and it looks like, oh, I don't know, like it might be good for a year or two, or it might just fall straight through the ground. Is it going to be a successful sale?
Right.
Probably not, right? So with your foundation, right? If your foundation isn't solidified and solid, if you're not able to get up and down that court for 4 quarters, and in the ABA, those are some long ass quarters. Those are like, then we got 4 12-minute quarters. You know what I'm saying? And like sometimes they get even longer. So it's longer because they have all these media timeouts in between. So it's like if you can't, from a physical standpoint, withstand that, how do you think you're gonna withstand like, being in ABA? You know what I'm saying? And not to mention they don't make it any easier for athletes to stay disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Oklahoma, weed's legal. People want to smoke weed. People want to drink. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't want to drink, there's plenty of women out there who want to do something, right? So it's like
so many distractions.
So what I do is I try to keep my goal in front of my eyes. And that is until I made it to the NBA, until I'm making 6 figures to where I could take care of my family, there's no reason for me to slack off or for me to be undisciplined. Because until I've repaid, all the hard work that I've put in, when do I have time to sleep? Or when do I have time to just relax? I could relax or sleep when I'm dead and gone, or either when I made it. Even when I made it, I don't want to relax because nobody wants to be comfortable.
You want to stay there.
Yes, exactly. It's all about being consistently good at what you're doing. And that's within life. That's within marriage, relationships, being a father, all those things. Like, can't be wishy-washy and expect to be great at anything, right? If you want to be the best at what you want to be, you got to be consistently good at it. I tell all the kids I train that all the time. I got a kid that I'm training now. One of my clients that I used to train with at Crunch, his son, he plays at PC West, I think, or Putnam City.
Would it be PC West or PCL?
I think it might be. No, it's PC.
North. There's 3.
There's a lot of them, bro. He told me what it was, but
regardless.
He plays. And I got to train him one night at the YMCA up there in closer to Northwest Expressway. I loved it. Was showing him some things that I learned playing professional ball. Got to see him do it in person. Stuff like that, to me, that's worth more than any money, any dollar. Because you're getting to see yourself pour into somebody, right? I'm busting my ass working as hard as I can up here to make it to the league. So when I'm finished and I'm well and done, and if I ever have kids, or if my little brother wants to try to segue into being a professional, because right now he's playing college at SAGU, but they changed it to Nelson University. He has an opportunity to do it, and my kids will have an opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm working hard. So that way, when it's all said and done, like, people are going to know, they're going to remember James Thomas Jr., put in the work to be where he is.
That's all I can sense is the earned it feeling. Because, like, I saw you day one. And how old are you now?
26.
So we've known each other over 7 years.
It's crazy.
Which is crazy. But I saw you as, like, a kid.
Yeah, you did.
And, like, when I see you now, and I know today is the first time in person in a while, but just seeing you on social media or whatever, I'm like, I don't see a kid. Like, I see a grown man that, like, set standards for himself. And I think that's really important. I had a question about the overseas G League, because we kind of segued just because I was interested in your discipline.
For sure.
It would be hard because, like, when I was graduating, or not when I was graduating, it would be my junior year. Phil was graduating, and I don't think you met Phil.
I heard of Phil, and I think I might have met him one time.
Okay, so he was before you, though. His goal was to go overseas or some type of ABA or MABA. So that's what I had in my head is I was like, oh, well, I should just try to go overseas. I'm not doing anything here. But I froze myself because I was like, oh, I don't want to be far from the house. Let me just do a job. So I'm curious with you, like, does the opportunity, like you mentioned, Lindy Waters, does the opportunity to be close and maybe make less, but be close to your end goal, does that outweigh experience in the world and getting paid at a higher scale?
That is an amazing question. Honestly, I've thought about it a lot too. Like, sometimes I feel like you have to take a lot of things into consideration. Like, what's your end goal? What do you want to do, right? And believe it or not, it takes a lot of sacrifice because I know if I leave to go overseas, like today or tomorrow, in the back of my mind, I'd be thinking, man, is my girl going to be good? Like, is faithful? Are we both going to be faithful being so far away from each other? Is like, not that I question that, but like, you know, as a man, we know we trust our woman for sure, but we don't trust other men. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you even take that away from the picture, like when I'm out there by myself, like, is it going to be worth it? And I just got to think at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm going to sacrifice a lot going over there to just make myself great and have a chance just to be drafted to the league. But, you know, at the end of the day, when I'm 40, 50 years old, and I have somebody who's looking up to me like a son or a kid or something like that, like I could be like, hey man, your pops did it. I put everything I could into it, right? I got to experience going overseas. I got to experience playing in the G League. I got to experience being in the States. Do I think it's worth it for anybody to go experience it? Of course. Because no, tomorrow's never promised, man. Like, you know, you don't want to be 40, 50 years old being like, damn, I wish I would have done that. Or I regret not doing this. You know, that's one thing I like about the woman that I'm with right now. Like, she wants me to do it. She wants me to go and, like, you know, pursue my dreams. She's not holding it over my head. She's not like, hey, if you leave, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She's, you know, pushing me to chase my dreams, you know, and I don't think every athlete has that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women who, you know, they don't want their significant other to go and they don't want us to chase our dreams. So, like, I believe that, you know, it's worth it if you feel like what you're going to get out of it is going to keep you whole. You know what I mean?
But that end goal is NBA, so that's where it leans more.
Exactly.
Like, it's not really my end goal. It's not. Because, of course, when you get to the NBA, the money's going to be there. Because even if you just made it to the NBA for a little minute, like a limited amount of time,
you're still sad.
You're still going to make some money.
Still sad.
So that would be the struggle. That's a smart, mature way to think about it, though, because you got to keep the end goal in mind. And you said it earlier. Like when stuff gets hard or I'm trying to stay disciplined or stay putting in the work, it's like I keep my end goal in front of me. So that makes sense.
Indeed. And honestly, I feel like, you know, overseas would be different. I feel like, think about it, players like Luka, you know what I'm saying, Jokic, a lot of the foreign players, Giannis, right? If they set themselves apart playing in an area of the world that we've never set foot in, right? Mm-hmm. And they're able to do it here too. Imagine if we were to go over there, dominate, shoot. Some of us might even like it. Some of us might won't even stay. Some of us might even have a statue if we really do our thing, right?
Yeah, it's like Marbury or something. Or like McCollum's older brother.
Yeah, or Dwight Howard.
Yeah. That's so wild.
He went to Thailand, right?
And been showing out.
What?
But why wouldn't he? He's a fucking beast.
He is a beast, right? But a lot of people in the league, they're like, oh, he's washed. Or like the younger cats, like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, he's just Dwight Howard. He can't do that in the league now, right? But he didn't care. You know what I'm saying? He didn't care. People, I didn't know people were talking noise like, why is he over there? Why can't he do that over here? Bro, he went out there and he made a monument for those people and they loved him. They still do. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that we could never take away from that. You know what I'm saying? He has made a career for himself here and over there. We can do it here, but imagine doing it in another part of the world, right? And then
so you wrestle with a lot of it because you're like, dang, I could go make an impact globally.
Oh, for sure.
Or I can stay here and grind and then maybe achieve my dream here. That's so tough.
It is
But
tough.
at least you're in a good predicament where those are your choices.
Yeah.
Like my choices are put in the work and invest in the G League and still make money, or go overseas and make more money. So it's like, at least they're good choices.
It
And
is.
you've earned them.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. It's a tough one for sure, because it's like I could go over there, make the money, have it sent over here, or I could come here, make like the 50, 40K a year, grind it out, still work a job or some stuff.
But you'd be so close.
I'd be
tough.
in the door, literally just at the edge, like underneath the sill.
Yeah.
And you have to fight.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like you got to lean into the universe sometimes, God, and you were so close, like the SGA in the park. Like you're so close that I feel like me personally, if I was in your shoes, I'd be like, I'm just so damn close.
I'm right there, bro.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Yeah.
It's hard, bro. You're there, but it's hard because it's like I said, there's so much other stuff going on outside of what I got going on, right? It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to stay locked in, but it's worth it, because at the end of the day, I know like I won't be the person where I go home and I go to sleep and my son asks me like, oh, I wish I would have done that. I don't want that to be me. You know what I mean? I want to be like, hey, I did it all that I could. I gave everything I could. You know what I'm saying? And I think one thing a lot of basketball players struggle with and realize is you can give everything you have, every part of your being to this game. You can give every bit of love you have to this game. And sometimes the game won't love you back.
100%.
Sometimes it doesn't. But that doesn't mean that while you're young and you're still able to get after it, that you should give up on yourself, right? When you're done and you're ready to lace them up, that's fine. But while you're still able to do it, why not?
That's true.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, because there's a lot of people we know older than us that were destined for this certain level and it didn't hit for them. And sometimes it's a depression or all these things. But if you know you did everything you could, and it's kind of the character I sense with you, even if you don't get the outcome you want, but you've done everything right, you can still live with it.
100%.
But if you take shortcuts and you make excuses and then it doesn't work out, then it's not your fault, but that's what you're going to think. You're going to be like, no, I didn't go as hard as I should have, and I didn't get my spot. To where right now you're laying it all on the line, to where like whatever is going to be, and I'm going to be okay with it.
100%.
And it goes without saying, just from the dedication, the character. But for me to see you from start to finish, or not even finish though, you're really just getting started. But to see that, like, I don't think anyone could understand, unless you went to that school, that this man was 19 years old on a JV team with no love.
Man, that's so real.
Like, bro, like
So
no
real.
love. Like your shorts were probably a 3X. You probably rolled them 4 times.
Definitely.
They may have even been practice jerseys or 10-year-old school jerseys. They were playing these random schools, being crammed into a small white van, but you didn't quit. That shit is so crazy. Like, the listeners will feel it, but like internally for me, it's like, bro, you all don't know. Like, you're only getting like $15 to eat after the game, but you still got to show up and put more work than anyone, but get less. Like, for me to see it is really cool, because like when I was seeing those posts of you being the captain or hitting those milestones, it was like, man, that's a guy that earned it. And I just think that's beautiful that you're so disciplined, but you're ready for another chapter like that. I know that's a long-winded compliment, but it's just because like, wow, like you would have never believed that.
And it was harder when I was in that situation. When I was 19 and you see me as the goofy, scrawny kid with the crazy hairdo, like, bro, you don't have no idea how many people told me I wasn't going to beat shit. I wasn't going to do it. Like, why you here? Like, you suck. You know what I'm saying? I have people tear me down, like, limb from limb, like, every single day. Some people who don't even play basketball would tear me down, bro. And I was like, wow, like, perspective is this. I'm either let that take over my whole mental and I'm just going to crumble, or I'm going to make something of myself and prove these people wrong. And I took a lot of days where I was just sitting there contemplating, just sitting out there on that little tree, or you know how they have the little swing, just looking out like, man, is this what I want to do? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Is basketball for me? Did I make a mistake? You know what I'm saying? But bro, it's just something about like knowing that if I let those people, the things they said just sit with me and like believe what they say, I knew I would have so much regret. I knew I'd be like, man, I could have done so much more. And so rather than question that, I'm like, while I'm here on this earth and I have what God blessed me with, I'm going to use every bit of it to show people that, hey, I'm more than what you thought I was. You know what I'm saying? I'm more than what I see myself as. I got to push myself above the limits to make sure that at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I didn't leave nothing on that court.
Yeah, I think it's so amazing that like not only have you grown so much like physically because of in your basketball stature and skills and things like that, but the maturity is what's standing out the most to me. And we don't talk a ton, but we've been connected since day one. It's like, hey, we're cool. I don't know why, but we're cool now.
Right, I remember every day.
The maturity is wild. So like, not that you need my approval. That's not what I mean. But like for me to see it is a win in itself. Like you have not, like you're a professional basketball player, but the maturity, the awareness about yourself, the awareness about the world, your circumstance, your choices, like that takes a lot of mental discipline. That's more than just getting up in the morning and putting in the work. So it's like, it takes more than one thing and you're putting all your eggs in the right spots. So I think that's really dope.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. That means a lot.
Yes, sir.
Especially coming from you being somebody who's been in the same shoes I've been in, who's went through the program, the system, like the teardowns, like it means a lot hearing you say that. Because, somebody who hasn't been in my shoes, who hasn't put on the same jersey, who hasn't sweat in the same gym, who hasn't lived in the same dorms, like, yeah, that's one thing. But like getting to be here face to face with somebody who's literally been in the same college, the same gym, everything, like, it's different. And I love to hear it because it's like, what it takes, what it was like. And like the fact to like hear the acknowledgement, bro, like that's huge for me, like mentally, like this right here, being in here with you, like I feel like I needed to be here.
Yeah, you need that fuel, that natural fuel, because you deserved it, bro. Because I know you're saying that, but like you could have just easily been done.
Boy.
Like easily. It would have been so easy. Like especially at that establishment. Like I witnessed it. So I know how easy it is to just fall off. I knew people that were good players that didn't make it work, or that were great players and then were just done after.
Facts.
I did my chapter. But you like built on it. I think that's crazy. Man, on a side note for being a professional athlete, like having that label, like did you, and this is from my own curiosity,
I got you.
Did you have to change something to where like you're in so much better shape, or are you like surprised that you're this equipped to be a professional athlete? And I don't know if I asked that right, but because like where you started to where you are, like, are you like, dang, I thought it would take more than this? Or did you put in so much, you're like, I'm surprised it took that much?
I had to change my mindset on how I viewed the things around me, right? I had to grow up from being a boy to a man in a different way. There's a lot of people that I had to say no to. There's a lot of instances that I had to walk away from. The biggest thing is like, I had to look at myself and I said, like, if it's important to me, like, it must be done by no means necessary, right? If I want to be mediocre, then yeah, I could say yes and I could give into these things, but mediocre was never something that I set out for from the beginning. Like, if I wanted to be mediocre, I would have quit after my freshman year. I would have probably not went to college. I probably wouldn't even like told my parents I wanted to come to Oklahoma. I would have just stayed in Texas and started working after high school. But like, I knew in the inside, like there was something that made me feel like, like there was more to be commanded from what I have. And I really had to stop. I had to stop like making excuses, because I was a big person who would make a lot of excuses. Oh, I'm not starting because Coach Bearcoff has favorites, or I'm not playing because, so-and-so isn't all that good, but, Bearcoff likes him or something like that. I had to really tell myself to shut the fuck up when it came to the excuses and really like be like, I got to make it to where there is no excuse. If I gave everything I had every single time I was in the gym, right? and I still wasn't playing, I would be like, okay, maybe it's me, right? Or maybe it's like them. And I'm just not, this just wasn't for me, right? But I knew back when I was a freshman, like there was more I could have drawn to myself, but I was so busy listening to what everybody else says and so busy like second guessing and questioning and slowing myself down that I never gave myself a chance to really, truly blossom, right? So once after my sophomore year, that's when my mindset shifted. I stopped doing what everybody was doing. I started doing what I felt like was going to help me improve. I stopped hanging out with people who were okay with being mediocre and okay with just barely getting by. Like my roommate, bro. Like I had to literally cut my roommate out of my life. I went to Mitch Wagner the next day after I was tired, and I was tired of just being in the same situation and failing classes and this, that, and the other. I had to say, Mitch, I can't do this no more. Like, I understand, like, you know, me and him came from the same area in Texas to come up here together, but he's not helping me improve. He's taking away from me more than he was pouring up. Like, we talk about, you know, filling up a cup, right? Mm-hmm. I had to surround myself with people who were pouring into my cup. And the people who were pouring out of my cup, I had to cut out of my life. I had to kind of like distinguish myself away from them. Once I learned about setting yourself apart from people who are not going to like help you progress, a lot of things clicked. I knew I had to be more disciplined in my studies. I knew I had to get more sleep. I knew I couldn't be out partying. I couldn't be missing no class, because if I'm missing class, then I'm half-assing it anyways. And at that point, I'm wasting money. And I'd be damned if I waste my parents' money or my money. You know what I'm saying? So being able to learn how to fill your cup and disassociate things that are going to empty your cup was the big game changer for me, changing my mindset to be a professional. Because being a professional, you have to make sure that the decisions you make are going to pour into your cup. The ones that pour out, you're wasting your time.
And how many years have you been a professional athlete now?
This is going to be going on year 4 or 5 for me, because I spent 2 years with the Kings. And then there's kind of like a little gap here where I just started working out. And then I just started, I want to say, actually, it might have been 3 years with the Kings. And then this will be my 4th year playing with the ABA. So crazy. It's my first year playing with the ABA, but my 4th year being a professional.
It's a wild accomplishment.
Man.
And just be in the beginning. Like, that's the thing with people that are driven, entrepreneurial mindset, pushing for that professionalism. Like, you're always going to be pushing for more. But even what you've done already is like so astronomical. It's so wild, bro. And to know that like you're destined for more is just cool, because I can't wait until we're circling back to have a conversation and you're like, hey, I made a decision, I'm at the G League, or I made a decision, I'm in Turkey. And it's like, well, shit, like he's choosing to keep going. And I can't wait to see it, bro. Like the same way you said you were meant to have this moment, that's why I think this podcast is so dope, is like,
love it.
You never know how much it's going to mean for like me or for you or someone listening. Like, it always feels like it's right on time. Like, you don't even know that stuff you're saying is hitting my subconscious, where I'm like, and I may be being hard on myself, but I'm like, maybe I did make an excuse. Like, you saying that is making me like, maybe I should tighten that up. And that's like why being surrounded by like-minded people, good men, like being around those people, because like you're gonna sharpen. Right. So the same way you're showing love to me, like I can't thank you enough for revitalizing things in myself too, because you just never know what you'll get. And that maturity from you is impressive, because that you were mature in the beginning, but you just weren't as aware.
I wasn't at all.
And to see it now and see like the poise is the word that's popping into my head. Like, besides amazing, it's just interesting. Like, I think it's cool now that I can see layers of you instead of just like James. Right. I think that's pretty interesting. So like, from all the work you've done, the work you've put in, and like the stuff you're still going to achieve, I commend you for it, bro.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah. I really appreciate that.
And I'm glad you wanted to be a part of this.
Oh, I love this, man. The Keep Going podcast, like, that word has meaning. Keep going. I always tell people to keep going, but I mean, even though I'm on the route that I am, I fully intend to keep going. I don't ever assume or presume that I want to slow down. And like what you were talking about with the whole like setting ourselves apart thing too, and like how you said like you kind of felt like, you know, like it was tugging on your heartstrings. Like I had a saying once that like it was talking about something about like whenever you, how can I say this? I'm trying to think, because I definitely had it in my mind when you were talking.
Bro, take your time.
And it like spaced out for a second. But like things worth having in life never come easy, right? Patience. If what I had right now, if my talent, if my height, my build, my body was easy, I would not care at all.
Right.
Not even in the ballpark of how much I care for it now. Because these opportunities that I had to work for, this body that I had to work for, this athletic ability that I had to work for, the fact that I had to work for it and struggle for it and get, you know, people talking down on me, getting overlooked by coaches, people not caring who I am or where I'm from. The fact that I had to go through all that, I see all that as a blessing, man. That stuff, all the bad things and the negative things helped me open my eyes to see the good that I have now. And I keep all that with me so that I remember never to get complacent, never to feel like, you know, things are where they are and it's always going to be that way, because in a heartbeat, it can be pulled from me like a carpet underneath a sheet of glass. You know what I'm saying? So I have to stay on my toes. I have to stay humble. I have to stay respectful. I have to always show love, because I remember there was a time where I didn't receive that, right? And so like being on the side of where you don't receive to where you are receiving your blessings, you want to always remember both sides of the spectrum. Yes, you may have a cup that's almost halfway full, but you still remember what it's like having an empty cup. Having that empty cup is the drive and the determination that fires you and fuels you to keep a full cup, right? You can't have one without the other. You can't have the yin without the yang, right? Everything has to be equally yoked in order for you to keep moving forward. So I keep all that frustration, all that, you know, overlooked, all the times Bearcoff never gave me a chance or people never gave me a chance to, you know, do what I can do. I keep that in the empty cup. So that way when I'm sipping on my full cup, I could look back and be like, yeah, I have this, but I remember what that was like. So don't ever get complacent and don't ever fall off, because you still got more room to go. That's mentally, that's why I feel like I'm moving at the pace that I am now. And I never forget, Zach. I never do. I never forget the days, because when we forget the days, we get complacent and we forget about the whole grind that it took to get to where we are now. Right. I think that in itself is what was helping me drive to be a professional, to get to the next level, to get to the G League, to get to the NBA, because I know I still got room in this cup to be filled. And so,
well said, bro. Well said. Man, I said it before, but I appreciate you, and being able to see your growth is awesome. And I love that we've been able to keep a relationship, and I really commend all the accomplishments you've had, but also just the good heart. I know I keep going back to that, but it's just what stood out to you, or stood out about you to me.
Thank you.
And it's still consistent. And I think you're destined to keep going. So I appreciate you being a part of this, and you're welcome back anytime. And like, thank you. If you don't have anything else, we'll get out of here, but I just appreciate you.
Man, thank you so much, bro. Yeah. I really appreciate you, man.
No problem.
It's always been love from day one. You remember when the first time we seen each other?
Yes,
so.
Sir. And just when we saw each other today.
Yeah, it was like, hey, it's like the first day we seen each other. Like, it's crazy. It's like, that's one thing I like about getting to meet people, and just like, I never forget a face, right? I never forget a face. But when you remember the first time you seen that person to where you are now, like, it's like an excitement. Like, you just bring yourself back.
That's what I was feeling when I saw you, because I'm like, damn, this is a grown-ass man.
Oh, for sure.
Not that you weren't an adult at the time, but like, we were just kids. Well, I was like just entering, and I was just entering. I was still a kid.
For sure.
I was just going to enter it. And like, to see you now, it's like just, I guess, proud, but also just like grateful to see it.
I'm grateful to be here with you, bro. Yeah. I'm a huge believer that Creator, God, puts people in our lives for a reason. You know, everything is connected. It's like energy, right? all things are connected for a reason. People are put into your life for a reason. So when you realize that and realize that everything's connected, like, you kind of find that synergy, right?
Yeah.
And synergy leads to balance, and consistency breeds excellence.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here to do, man.
Bro, thank you. I really do appreciate it. You have a lot of wisdom, and I know it's only the beginning of your new chapter. So, bro, just keep going.
Most definitely, I will.
I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you,
Yes, sir,
brother.
man.